The moment Rebecca Hale, the powerful CEO everyone admired, wrapped her trembling fingers around my wrist and pulled me close in front of nearly 200 guests, I knew something had gone terribly wrong. Her expensive smile looked flawless for everyone else, but standing only inches away, I saw fear hidden behind her eyes. Then she leaned toward me and whispered the words that changed my life forever. She wanted me to be her fiancé for just one night. Every camera turned toward us. Every conversation stopped, and somehow, without understanding why, I nodded. Before we continue, if you believe that kindness, hope, forgiveness, compassion, and second chances can truly change someone's life, please take a moment to like this video, leave a thoughtful comment, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps these heartfelt stories reach more people who need a little hope today. My name is Nathan Carter. And until that afternoon in Charleston, South Carolina, I was just another event photographer trying to rebuild a life that had quietly fallen apart. 2 years earlier, my small photography business had collapsed after a series of canceled contracts. My father became ill, medical bills piled up, and I sold almost everything I owned to keep my parents in their home. Expensive parties were never my world. I simply captured smiles, birthdays, and celebrations from behind a camera, then disappeared before anyone remembered my name. Rebecca's birthday celebration at her family's historic estate was supposed to be another ordinary assignment. Instead, it became the day my future took an unexpected turn. The guests believed Rebecca had finally introduced the mysterious man she had supposedly been dating for months. Only I knew the truth. She had never met me before that afternoon. As applause echoed through the gardens, I gently placed an arm around her shoulder, trying my best to look convincing while wondering why one of the country's youngest CEOs needed a stranger's help. As the evening unfolded, I noticed subtle details no one else seemed to see. Rebecca's wealthy relatives watched her with expectation instead of affection. Her older uncle constantly steered conversations toward business succession. Her mother's forced smile disappeared whenever Rebecca stepped away. Everyone cared about the company, the inheritance, the public image. Very few seemed interested in Rebecca herself. Later that evening, away from the crowd beneath a quiet gazebo overlooking the gardens, Rebecca finally trusted me with the truth. Her father had built the family company with honesty and compassion before he passed away. After his death, several board members, encouraged by certain relatives, began questioning whether Rebecca was capable of leading the business alone. Rumors spread that she lacked stability because she had devoted herself entirely to work instead of building a family. That birthday party wasn't really a celebration, it was an unofficial inspection. If investors believed she had a stable personal life, the pressure to replace her as CEO would finally end. She didn't need romance. She needed enough time to protect thousands of employees whose jobs depended on her leadership. Listening to her, I saw something that headlines never revealed. Behind the successful executive stood a lonely daughter still carrying the weight of impossible expectations. I agreed to help until the party ended, believing my role would finish when the guests left. But life rarely follows simple plans. Over the next week, Rebecca contacted me several times to thank me. She insisted on paying far more than my photography fee, but I refused. Instead, we shared coffee, long walks, and honest conversations that had nothing to do with pretending. For the first time in years, someone asked about my dreams instead of my failures. She listened when I spoke about my father's illness. I listened when she admitted how exhausting it was to appear fearless every single day. Weeks later, her company announced a scholarship program for struggling young artists and photographers. Rebecca quietly asked me to help mentor the first students. She never presented it as charity. She believed people deserved opportunities, not pity. Watching teenagers discover confidence through a camera reminded me why I had fallen in love with photography in the first place. One afternoon, while visiting my parents, Rebecca spent hours laughing with my mother over homemade pie and helping my father organize old family photo albums. Nothing was staged. Nothing was for the newspapers. In that simple living room, I realized the woman who had once asked for a fake fiancé had become someone who genuinely valued the people around her. Several months later, at another gathering in the same garden where everything had begun, Rebecca stood beside me once again. This time there were no frightened whispers, no desperate requests, and no performance. Surrounded by family, friends, employees, and the students whose lives had already begun to change, she reached for my hand because she wanted to, not because she needed to. The relationship that had started as a single evening of compassion had slowly become something neither of us expected. Built on trust, respect, friendship, and countless quiet moments that cameras could never truly capture. Before this story comes to an end, I'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment and tell us, have you ever offered someone a helping hand without knowing it might change your own life forever? If this story touched your heart, please like the video, share it with someone who still believes in kindness, and subscribe for more inspiring stories that remind us hope often arrives when we least expect it. Looking back, I often think about that impossible request at a birthday party. Rebecca believed she was asking a stranger to save her future, but the truth was far different. By trusting an ordinary photographer when the entire world expected perfection, she gave two lonely people the courage to stop pretending and start living honestly. Sometimes the greatest love stories do not begin with perfect timing or dramatic promises. They begin with one unexpected act of compassion, one impossible choice, and two hearts willing to believe that second chances are real.